Welcome back to Smoke Signals, everyone. I'm Matt Montgomery along with head football coach Wayne Coleman. Fighting Indians lost last week at home against Whitehouse 25-13. Coach, tough loss. Always tough to lose to Whitehouse. It's not that, to me, what Whitehouse did so well. It's some of the things that you guys didn't do that you have been doing that just didn't get the right plays at the right time.
Yeah, I told the kids after the game, if you make a highlight tape of the game, we're going to have more highlights because we do some great stuff. But if you make a low light tape of the game, we're going to have a lot more low lights because we shoot ourselves in the foot and we make too many mistakes. So we have the ability to make big plays. We're not showing the ability to stay focused play after play after play.
Coming into the ball game, you said that you thought Whitehouse would run the football, and boy, the Kennedy kid had one carry the previous week, and they loaded him up this last week, and he was a tough guy to bring down.
Yeah, unfortunately, they were thinking what I was thinking, that they should give Kennedy a lot more carries, and I think he had over 30 carries, and he's their best athlete. They made a good coaching decision, putting him in there and letting him control the game.
It has to be frustrating, I know, as a staff to watch those 85-yard drives, those 75-yard drives that you just get consistently every game, at least one of them, and then not to be able to move the ball in situations. Of course, you had really bad field position to start that football game. In the first quarter was horrible field position.
Yeah, it was. You were just holding on the first quarter, trying to survive that thing. They punted the ball from midfield, and they do all these crazy kicking formations, which makes it hard for you to set up returns, and especially when they're punting, from your end of the field or the 50, that makes it really dangerous.
Yeah, you had mentioned that was one of the reasons why you didn't have somebody back, because of their formations in the punt. On the punting, that they had the fake set up every time they punted the ball.
That probably lead Texas in the number of fake punts that they've run this year, and of course they have a purpose for that. They're going to do that so that you can't set up returns, and so you don't want to give up a fake punt on the 50-yard line. So you play more defensive, and that's a good scheme by them.
Tackling's improved. I mean, you gave up 25 points, but to me, 2 of those touchdowns were given up because of field position. Okay, but you tackled better. I know with a guy getting over 200 yards rushing, you don't think that, but the reality is that you did make the tackles sometimes when you needed to make them. They just had a couple of long runs.
Yeah, and they kind of grounded out to where they kept putting themselves in 3rd and short. And with a big, strong running back like that, if you get to 3rd and 2, you're in a good situation there offensively. So that was a big deal for them. Their 3rd down conversions kept some drives alive, and that starts to wear you down a little bit. But I was really proud of the way our defense is starting to come around.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights. Jacksonville versus Whitehouse. Coach, here's Bryson with a hard run for 11.
Bryson runs hard every time. Of course, he plays every snap on defense for us, and when he gets a chance to carry, he goes hard.
Great catch here by Casey Kennedy. Started to become a solid receiver for you here for 13.
Yeah, they were doubling Chris over on the single side, so it opened up some stuff for Casey going across the field there.
See Patrick here with a nice touch pass to Kennedy again.
Same scheme right over there where they're doubling Chris. Send Casey over there and take advantage of that. Nice ball by Patrick.
So your defense gets on the board here with a scoop and score, Latrell Session.
Yeah, Latrell had a great game. He's really come around. He's getting better every week. We're glad to have him.
And this is what you guys coach, I know, every week. Don't give up on the play. Make something happen, and even when the play looks bad for you, and watch Tyrese right here.
Yeah, and this is football IQ. We talk to the kids about this all the time. We show them highlights of Jay Shun Bush in the past. Our kids continuing to give effort and try to learn from that. And we watched video this morning from 2016 Ennis game of some plays that we made that we've got to keep learning and getting better every week. And you can't just, you got to be creative as a coach, as a teacher, to find what it is that triggers your kids and makes them realize, okay, I can make this play. And so we're continuing to look for ways to get better.
So it's Pine Tree this week. Pine Tree comes in, a high-scoring team. They have their quarterback that looks a lot like Kyler Murray, the way he plays back there, the big Sparkman kid that's going to Arkansas, I believe, caught 11 passes last week. Talk about Pine Tree. I mean, I know they have a great offense, but they really have a good overall football team.
They're probably the leading offense in East Texas, over 500 yards a game. They've got two dynamic wideouts, Sparkman and Adams. Those kids are great players. They've got a quarterback that's rushed for over 500 yards, a running back that's rushed for over 500 yards. So you're looking at a really balanced attack. So from a schematic standpoint, you can't stop all of that every play. You've got to pick your poison and decide what is it that we're going to take away from them on this down. And so you got to have a plan that you think your kids can execute, and you just got to live with it.
Defensively, Pine Tree, they've given up some points too. I mean, it looks like they've been in a lot of shootouts. Talk about what your offense will need to do to attack them.
That's kind of their MO. They get in a lot of high-scoring games. They're very comfortable being in the shootout. We last year were in kind of a shootout with them. It ended up being 30-something to 30-something. When we pulled out the late win. So we're going to have to, for sure. I told the kids yesterday, let's make sure we win the special teams, and then on one of these other two phases, out execute these guys. And the way our defense is improving, I expect for us to step up and play pretty good there. And then last year, we had some success running the ball on them. So it's a chance for us to, try to regain some balance, maybe run the ball a little more.
And that is one thing we have seen improvement on each week. The offensive line seems to be getting as a unit, getting in a groove, and you have been running the ball well, especially with Aaron Richardson. He's doing a great job.
Aaron's doing a really good job. He's in his senior year. The kid plays hard and runs the ball hard. He's a physical runner. We've got to give him some more opportunities.
Teams continue to double up on Chris Carpenter, and I know that some other players have stepped up, and we were just watching the film. Casey Kennedy had a good game catching the football. Talk about what you will do when they do those types of things.
Yeah, in the situation last week where they were doubling Chris almost every down, that was opening Casey up on some throws across the middle. It was opening up some of the run game for Aaron back on the weak side. So you want to use that to your advantage and ask your other kids to step up, but you don't want to get caught in the trap of doing that all the time. You got to move Chris around and find different ways to get him the ball.
Of course, this is week 3 of the district, and you're 0-2, and I know this game obviously is, without saying, is hugely important for you to stay in the race, but it is a seven-game slate, and you're only down 2, so you got a chance here to really get back in it.
Yeah, it's the same spot we were in last year when we pulled this win out against them. So if we win this game, we're right in the middle of it. Everybody knows that probably Whitehouse has been a playoff contender the last couple of years. We played them a really tough game. And we played them a tough game last year, so we're not that far off. It's just down to execution and not beating ourselves, and we talk about that all the time. But as the season goes on and the kids start seeing it, these are the mistakes I keep making. They'll start getting better, and our attitude is great. This group of kids has been. I told them yesterday, this has been the most fun group I've had coaching. They're not a problem in the classroom. They're great kids. I haven't had any issues with them. They love coming to practice. Our practice sessions are great, and they have not let me down at all. Their intensity, they bring it every day.
And they don't give it up at the end. I mean, I've seen even the Carthage game. I mean, they just kept playing hard to the end of the game. Haven't seen Jacksonville teams always do that, but this team's different in that way.
Yeah, they are. I've been really pleased with them, and we have a great relationship with these kids. Our coaches and these kids get along great. They work hard. We're in here every morning at 7:15 watching film, and these kids show up every day, and just been a joy to coach.
Talk about keys to the game to try to get the win against Pine Tree.
We've just been a little off in our passing game. I mean, just inches off, and they got 3 interceptions last week that were, I think 2 of them were tipped, and it's just one of those deals where we're just barely, they could have been catches by us. Instead, they went the other way. So if we can just get dialed in a little bit better there, we need to make that happen. And then we got to slow down their big play passing attack.
So Jacksonville versus Pine Tree on the road at Pirate Stadium will be online on jhs-sports.com starting at 6:45. Kickoff at 7:30. Hope to see you there. For head coach Wayne Coleman, I'm Matt Montgomery. We'll see you next time right here on Smoke Signals.